you had an Amazon special rollout, and it is called the Fatty Gay.
It is, yes. It's called Fatty Gay. The is not. I mean, I feel like you call it the Facebook too, and the internet, don't you?
He probably does.
The Facebook.
The
Yeah,
Facebook.
I feel like you like. I'm going to post it on the Facebook today.
Welcome to the Skittle Squad podcast. We're glad you're here listening and watching today. My name is David Smith, and I'm here with my fabulous co-host.
I'm Paul Pfeiffer.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
God, I haven't seen you in ages.
Right.
Oh,
It's
my
been
goodness.
like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So it was funny. In one of our previous episodes, we had been talking about the dishwasher battle of you and Rick.
Yeah.
And I had come across a fun, maybe I thought would be a hot topic about what is the correct way to load a dishwasher. And then I thought we also, and especially from the audience perspective, we do need a status update on the dishwasher battle of you and Rick. Like, what's happening?
Okay. So nothing has really changed on that front.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not allowed to load the dishwasher because when I load the dishwasher, he just turns around and puts it the way he wants it. So I'm not the right person to ask how to load a dishwasher because I can't do it right, apparently.
Right. Well, what do you think that you're doing wrong? Like, what does he change? Like, what's happening?
I don't know. It's just that every time I've tried to load the dishwasher, 10 minutes after I load it, he'll go in there and he's got it open and he's rearranging everything in there. So I guess he's kind of a control freak like you are.
I was going to say, I feel like, maybe that's a little controlling. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
So, but we still have the situation, and we brought it up again this week where, he dirties every single dish when he cooks, and I'm emptying the dishwasher like 538 times a week. So that has not changed. That is still the same.
Now, is Rick a cook? Like, is he cooking every meal every day, or is he just cook now and then? Or
he does tend to cook every day unless he loses track of time working in the yard.
Oh, okay.
Because he's trying to get. We're having a pool party next weekend, and he's trying to get the yard ready for that because we're going to have a significant number of people at this pool party. So sometimes he will forget. And I have to eat by a certain time because I'm old.
Right,
and,
right. You need to take your medicine.
Yeah, that and when you get old, after you eat, after a certain amount of time, then it doesn't digest as well and you don't sleep as well.
That's true.
So I tend to want to have something to eat by 7:00.
Okay.
And if he's still in the yard working, then I've got to fend for myself, which is usually Uber Eats.
Well, I would say if I had to make a guess, you're going to prefer that over his cooking.
No. His cooking is fine. Although we have discussed before, in
he gets crazy with the creative.
He does get crazy with the creative stuff.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to ask Rick's permission, but I'd love to flash a picture of the two cuties, you and him together on screen.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about Rick in such a different episodes, and so I'd love for folks
we
to be
haven't
able to
even
see
gotten
him.
into stuff like his fashion sense and all this other stuff.
Well, let's talk about that. Like, let's talk about his fashion sense. Like, what's your takes on that? And speaking of, I don't want to forget, let's take a quick look at your T-shirt here. That's what quoted by she.
That's what she said.
Yeah, right. I love that.
So there was actually controversy when Rick and I were planning the wedding.
Okay.
We were planning the wedding and we were trying to decide, what we were going to wear, from a tux perspective.
Okay.
And he decided he wanted to wear pleated pants. I said, don't wear pleated pants.
Yeah, that's a fashion nightmare.
Like, that makes you look bigger than what you are. You don't want to wear pleated pants. And maybe we should ask Tony from Atlas when he comes on the show whether pleated pants are okay
I
or
think
not.
we should.
But I actually put a question on Facebook and asked just my friends on the friends list.
Right.
Pleated pants, yes or no?
Okay.
Overwhelmingly, everyone said no, absolutely not. He still wore pleated pants.
Well, Rick likes to go against the grain.
Yeah, he does. He does.
His middle name should be Resist.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, and you know, he'll wear cargo shorts, which
Yeah.
I don't like those all that much. I call them purse pants because they're like purse pants. You can put everything, you know, little things in each pocket, you know.
So maybe you could do a quick video and just go through his cargo pants and just like pull out everything and show everybody.
He would
like,
love
who
that.
know what you would find in there? You know what I mean?
He would love that. There have actually been times where we're going to an event or something and he'll come out and I'll be like, no, honey, change clothes. Like you can't wear that.
So you would definitely be the one with the fashion sense.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Rick, we've talked about a little bit in previous episodes. He is very, I guess, like a butch gay.
He's a lesbian.
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that.
No, he's a lesbian.
I didn't want to say that, but he's very butch. He's very handy around the house.
Yeah.
He's done additions to your home. He's like really done some amazing work.
Yeah.
I know for sure I could not do anything like that.
Yeah. And he wears dad shoes.
Shoes,
New Balance, white New Balance dad shoes. Like
wow,
and
that's
I'm like,
intense dad shoes.
Oh my God, Rick, no, that's why I bought him Hokas.
Oh,
because I was like, no, don't wear those dad shoes anymore. Here, wear these Hokas. So,
that's two things I've got you definitely into is the Hokas and the Alani Nu.
Yeah, so now he'll wear his Hokas, although he's like, I don't like the color that you got me. Can you get me another color? I'm like, okay.
Well, Daddy Warbucks right here. So anyway.
I'm like, those shoes are expensive.
They're good though. They're really
but they're good. They're really good.
I do love them.
Yeah. So we can ask Tony when he comes on.
Yeah. And so for folks that are watching, we're having Atlas Home and Body. They're a great boutique store in St. Pete on Central, and we're going to have them on in probably about 6 weeks.
Yeah. So I'm real excited
so
about
we'll
that.
definitely have to
So we can ask
Tony.
him, like, what are the fashion do's and don'ts?
Yeah, for sure.
And then I'll make sure that Rick watches it so he knows.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to absolutely love that. So in a previous episode that we ran, we were talking about near-death experiences.
Yes.
Maybe, I know you have a few.
And
maybe
I kind of shocked you and said that I had a near-death experience. And you were like, what?
It was shocking. Yeah. So you had one on the river.
Yes.
But you said there was other ones.
Yeah.
So tell us about one of the other ones.
There was one when I was in grade school and we had a carbon monoxide leak.
Oh, geez.
And I passed out.
Oh
Actually, my whole family
God.
passed out in the house.
Okay.
And luckily it was caught in time and we were sent to the hospital.
Wow.
And we recovered from that. But that
did you
was
have to go
scary.
into one of those? I think it's a hairbatic or one of those chambers.
Yeah, one of those like, chamber things.
Right, you had to go in there.
So yeah,
okay.
that happened.
Wow.
And then when I was 18, I lived in Houston and I worked for Godfather's Pizza. Do you remember Godfather's Pizza?
I do.
Yeah,
yes.
I worked for Godfather's Pizza. And I had two jobs. I'd work at Godfather's. They were both in the same strip mall. So I would work at Godfather's Pizza during the day. And then at night, I would work at Marshall's. I used to work at Marshall's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the men's department.
Well, you're very fashionable, so
Yeah,
I could see that.
I dropped a lot of money in that place.
Oh, I bet.
When I was a teenager.
Did. Oh my gosh.
So anyway, it was in the middle of the day. It was just me working the front and then another guy working the back. It was just two of us because it was like late. It was like mid-afternoon, so nobody was in the restaurant. This person comes in and comes up to the counter and pulls out a gun and says, I want, the money.
Right.
So I give him the money out of the cash register. And then he says, I know you've got a safe. Open the safe.
Oh, geez.
Well, I couldn't open the safe because I was not a manager. I didn't know the combination. So that's when he came behind me and put the gun to my head.
Oh, that's
horrible. If someone had not decided to come into the restaurant at that point in time, I probably would not be here right now.
Oh my goodness.
So,
wow.
Someone came into the restaurant, a couple customers came in and he quickly left.
Wow.
And then we had to call the police and
Do you think he was hopped up on some drugs or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
And how old were you at that time?
18.
18. Okay.
Yeah, 18.
Wow.
My family at the time was like, we don't want you working there anymore. Obviously it's dangerous. And of course I was like, no, I like that job. I'm still going to work there. So I did continue to work there.
Okay.
Definitely scary to have to be in that type of situation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think I mean, not that it's a competition per se, but I definitely think you win with the near death experiences. Oh my goodness. I'll share one quick story that's a little similar, but I didn't have a gun to my head. So this is 1993. I was a teller working in a bank, and it was Christmas time. And it was, I think, maybe about a year after the movie Point Break had come out. So if you're familiar with Point Break, you know, they have the big group of guys come in the masks and they rob the bank, right? Well, this group of people that robbed us at the bank was basically mimicking the movie. So I'm standing there working, and, you know, of course, I was the only one working. I was a very hard worker, but I was working very hard. And Santa Claus walked into the front door with 2 elves, and he rang a bell and he said, "Ho, ho, ho, Merry Christmas." And out of his Santa bag, he pulled out a AR-15. He said, "This is a stick up. Everyone on the ground." The first thought that I had was, oh my God, this ground is filthy. I am not going to go on the ground. And so I guess... I guess.
Wait, you know what that reminds me of? Have you ever seen the movie Clueless?
Yes.
So when Cher gets kicked out of Elton's car, and she's stuck in the middle of nowhere, and this guy comes up and robs her, and he's like, "Get down on the ground," and she's like, "Oh no, you don't understand. This is an alaya. I can't." That's exactly what I'm envisioning in my head as you're telling me
I
this.
looked at that ground and I was like, no way. And so one of the elves jumped over the teller window, the counter, and basically put his foot on someone's back that decided the ground was okay to lay on, and started pulling the money out. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I got to get on the ground. So I went on the ground. They actually robbed from 3 teller stations and took off. So, you know, the normal, the FBI comes, you know, we're there, and the police come into one of the rooms we're waiting in, and they're like, everyone needs to leave. And we're like, why? What happened? Well, they had left a bomb in a stocking underneath our Christmas tree in the bank.
What?
Yeah. So we literally had to wait for the bomb squad to come in and take that bomb out. Yeah. And they only got, I think, around $10,000. And I guess in 93, 10,000 was a lot, but they did catch them. They were on a countrywide robbing spree, and they were hitting bank after bank after bank. And it was so crazy. The next day when we were open for business, some people came in and they're like, you know, I was here yesterday and I saw someone sitting in front of the bank with the car running, and they were wearing a ski mask. And me and my husband were joking around like, oh, I wonder if they're going to rob the bank. Well, guess what? They did. They robbed the bank. I'm like, people are
That's
so
hilarious.
clueless. So they did actually catch them, and the 2 guys that they caught, there was, I think, a total of 5, they actually hung themselves in prison before they went to trial. So yeah, kind of a sad ending to the story, but
well, here's the funny thing. So the time that you were working at a bank,
yes.
I think I was working at a bank.
Oh, funny. Okay, yeah, 93.
Because I was a teller.
Okay, we were both tellers.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. You give me a stack of singles, I can count them out like no one's business. Like,
I don't know, like, I can't remember exactly what years it was, but I was a teller for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a fun job. People think, oh, it's going to be like one of those lousy type jobs, but I actually enjoyed.
Me too.
Working at the bank.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And now they don't have tellers anymore. It's just a bunch of ATM machines.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to talk to anyone.
Right.
And now they're even doing, I don't know if you're familiar with the cashless banks.
No.
So at least I bank with Chase, and at least with Chase, now there's only certain locations that actually have cash on premise.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's gone. It's gotten to the point where, yeah, if you want to withdraw cash at a certain amount or more, you have to like go to these certain designated cash holding banks. Huh. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, it's weird how things are changing, because like you can go through, and I can talk about this because I'm big and fluffy and have a muffin top, but but if you go through Checkers drive-through, It's actually AI that takes your order.
Oh, I've heard and
yeah.
seen. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a person. Like a person will hand you the
Right.
order, but
Okay.
the person taking the order is not a real person. It's
Wow.
actually a computer
Okay.
that takes your order.
So when's the last time you went to Checkers?
It was a while ago.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was a while ago, and Rick was with me, so I think Rick
Yeah.
wanted to go because Checkers isn't really my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't be a place I would normally choose.
Do you have a favorite fast food or like quick food service?
It depends on what we're having.
Yeah.
So if it's a burger,
Okay.
I'll do Wendy's all day long.
Yeah, Wendy's is
Yeah,
great.
I love Wendy's burgers. If it's like chicken, I don't know. Like I don't eat a lot of chicken, but if I do chicken, it's probably Zaxby's.
Oh,
Is
okay.
where I.
I'm
tend to
a
go.
really huge fan, and I know a lot of people are going to be not agreeing with me. Chipotle.
I like Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I seem to go there probably once a week.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I like Chipotle.
And then also a great place in St. Pete. They did have a location in Tampa that had a fire. I don't know if they've reopened. Was Fresh Kitchen? I don't know if you've heard of Fresh Kitchen.
Oh, yeah. I used to go there when I lived in St. Pete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, really great. It's very fresh take on the ingredients, and so yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, I used to
too.
go there quite a bit when I lived in St. Pete because there was one like
one
relatively
on
close to me.
4th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one
Yeah,
I would go to.
really, really good.
Yeah. Did it burn down?
Well, they had a location in Tampa that had a fire, and I don't know if they've reopened that location yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
definitely go there. It's a local business in the community. It's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that place a lot.
Well, we survived our near-death experiences,
did.
and here we are in the Skittle Squad podcast. We really couldn't ask for anything more, and we're very excited because we're going to introduce our guest here in just a moment, Jeff Klein. He had a comedy special rollout on Amazon.
Yep.
So really, really excited to talk to him. It's called The Fatty Gay.
Yep.
And so I'm sure we'll have a lot of chuckles and laughs with him. Just stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
Fam League is Tampa Bay's ultimate adult social sports league, bringing together kickball, dodgeball, pickleball, bowling, and more in a fun, social, and all-inclusive environment. Whether you're here to compete, connect, or just have a blast, there's a place for you in this community. We're proudly LGBTQIA+ inclusive and welcome players of all skill levels, from themed tournaments and sponsored bar nights to bar Olympics and watch parties for your favorite sporting events. Fam League is more than just sports and events. It's a family. And they accept old people like David and muffin tops like me.
Welcome back. We're excited to introduce our guest today, Jeff Klein. Hey, Jeff,
Hey,
how are
Hi
you?
guys.
Hi.
So you go by the Fatty Gay.
I've been called worse.
Where did that name come from?
So that name came from. It's halfway through the special. If you watch it, you know. No, it came from a French 3-year-old. She was learning French,
Okay.
and the word for tired in French is fatigue.
Okay.
But as a 3-year-old, can't really articulate that well. And we went over to my ex's house, and he was like, "You need to ask Sophie if she's tired." And I was like, "Okay, Sophie, are you tired? Say tired." And she looked right at me and went, "Fatty gay." And I was like, first of all, that's all I'm having you say for the rest of the day. And then I immediately thought I need to say that on stage. And then once that joke got worked out, that kind of created the special, kind of the outline of the special. I was like, oh, well, this fall, because it describes me physically and describes how I feel. So I think that's the beauty of the word.
See, this is why Jeff and I get along so well, is because I can relate totally to what you're
Yeah,
saying.
unlike you and I, right, yeah. Paul and I don't get along very well, but you and Paul, like that. So for folks to know, you had an Amazon special rollout, and it is called The Fatty Gay.
It is, yes. It's called Fatty Gay.
Okay.
The is not, I mean, I feel like you call it the Facebook too, and the internet, don't
He
you?
probably does.
The
yes.
Facebook.
The
Yeah,
Facebook.
I feel like I'm going to post it on the Facebook today. It's called Fatty Gay.
Okay.
But yes, came out in February. Self-produced special on Amazon. And yeah, It's been well received.
Yeah, congrats. It was really funny.
Thank
Paul and
you.
I both watched it. It was really
Yep.
great. So you've been doing this for about 11 years.
I have.
Have you ever had a moment where you just maybe blanked on stage and you were like, oh my God, like, what do I say next? Like,
100%.
how do you handle those type of situations?
I cry. No, it's changed over the years. Like when I started, those moments were terrifying.
Okay.
And you just like, it's the end of the world. You're on stage, people are waiting, and actually in both. So I filmed the special over two different nights.
Okay.
I did them a week apart to make it as hard as possible on myself because I needed to recreate so it looked the exact same. And I was like, it would be great if we broke the whole set down and rebuilt it a week later.
Fine.
So we did that. But weirdly, on each night and for different reasons, I went kind of off the cuff type thing and joking around in a moment. And then when trying to get back on track and just maybe the pressure of like, having a full room, knowing it was for the special, all of a sudden I was like, I forget where I was supposed to go next.
Right.
And again, nowadays, I just lean into, I owned the moment. I told the audience, because I think on the first night I referenced a vagina. And then,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it threw me off that bad.
I bet.
Yeah.
That would throw me off.
I just kind of brought that. I was like, that was a fun, kind of moment we had. But now I'm so traumatized by talking about it. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. But I mean, that's the beauty of editing because you don't see it in the special.
No, the special is flawless. Yeah, you definitely would never know anything about that.
But yeah, you just roll with it now. And that's the beauty about stand-up is you can live in the moment and the audience recognizes this is what's happening in front of them.
Right.
So they can be there with you. And pretending it doesn't happen, if you can do it quick and nobody notices, that great. But when it gets to a point that is noticeable, you kind of need to point it out because the audience can see what's happening.
So from a standpoint, with stand-up comedy, are a lot of the folks that go up on stage, are they drunk? Are they like high or are they like natural? No, I'm just wondering because I have a couple comedians I watch and I feel like, wait, are they drunk right now? You're like questioning it.
That's a fair question. And I would say it depends on where you're at in your career.
Oh,
I know
okay.
comics that need the alcohol to get on stage, that liquid courage.
Yeah.
I have found it's funny when I was a bit of a social drinker. I was a bartender for years upon years in the area. Hold for applause. Okay, yes. Right. I mean, I won the Watermark Award for favorite bartender, but all right, nothing. And so I was a big social drinker. But then when I started doing comedy and early on, my first 6 months, I did this open mic. Nobody knew me at the open mic. I went up near last. It was at the Dunedin Brewery. I was drinking a couple beers. I got a little drunk. And at the end, I just was when I got up on stage to do 5 minutes, I was complaining about people in the audience for 4 minutes. And then I got my light for 1 minute left. And I was like, I haven't told any jokes. And that was the first time my dad had come to see me do comedy.
Oh, wonderful.
And so the next day, my dad, who's a CPA, texted me and he was like, hey, you want some notes on your set from last night? And I was like, is the note tell jokes? I don't need your notes. And so the interesting thing was, as much as I'm in bars and around drinking people, me going on stage now, I rarely, if ever, drink before going on stage because I like in the moment, you want to be as sharp and as quick-witted as possible and present as possible.
Right.
That being said, I know a lot of comics that get high before they go on stage to take care of anxiety or just because it's fun.
Right.
And same thing with drinking.
Yeah.
I find, to me, it dulls the senses that I want on stage.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So, and
sure.
I think a lot of comics, I mean, it depends. There's some very A-list comics that I know are very wasted when they're on stage.
Wow.
But also are hilarious. So it works for them.
How about your creative process? Is your family and friends kind of like the guinea pigs for your jokes?
They are annoyingly so.
See, it's not just me and Rick.
Oh, okay.
You practice on the
You
people
practice on Rick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's very when they say something. I mean, my partner Matt complains that he writes half of my material, and that's because
funny.
If he says something that's noteworthy,
Okay.
I will probably say it on stage as if it's my own.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
The
Yeah,
audience
for sure.
doesn't know.
Right.
And I did that with my ex, Bob, as well. And they will see 0 residuals. But no, it is one of those, like, especially when I was working in restaurants. I worked in restaurants for many, many years.
Oh, okay.
Again, Watermark Award winning. When I worked in restaurants, well, I would try out. I had a new joke idea, and I would, kind of try it around the staff. And I'd be like, if it gets a couple laughs, I was like, well, that's got legs. I'll take that on stage.
Right.
Um,
Right.
And now that I do comedy full time, it's we'll just be driving, and a joke will pop in my head, and I'll say to Matt, and I'll be like, hey, new joke. Is this funny? And he's able to give that, like, yeah, I think there's something there. Well, I don't get it. And then my brain will just keep churning it and working on it.
Have you ever had a joke that just no one thought was funny?
Doesn't sound right. No, actually, there's a clip I just put out from California.
Okay.
Where, to me, it was a hilarious premise, complaining about California roads and the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway, and how there's no shoulders, and
Scary.
it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And then they give you scenic views to look at, and then make it super windy.
And then it's
right.
dark and there's
Yeah.
no streetlights.
Yeah, and I
it's
said,
really dangerous.
So my punchline on that was, I found that I like my roads like I like my 80s ladies blazers, broad shoulders, which I think
I think that's funny.
it's great. And so I did that joke twice in California
Oh.
to 0 response.
Oh, wow.
And so I posted the clip saying, like, when you think the joke is hilarious and the audience disagrees.
Oh.
Because I was like, this is going to be my clip from this show. And then the audience just was like, no. And I was like, I'm going to post it anyway.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So yeah, there are times where in my head, and it's funny because Matt was even like, I don't know why that joke, and sometimes you don't know why the joke doesn't work.
Right.
And sometimes it's because audiences are dumb.
Well, okay. Everyone make sure you tune in. Anyway, no, that's funny. And I would expect that, with the audience that you have, it's probably a different energy with each group. So do you go
Yeah.
on stage sometimes and you're like, oh boy, this is going to be a little bit more difficult than maybe another group that's better energy, or?
It does change a lot. I will
Okay.
say one of the interesting things is, because born and raised here in Florida, my jokes, I've written my jokes around the audiences in Florida, and the mainstream audiences in Florida are a bit of conservative crowds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm able to do my jokes, talk about everything I talk about, being gay, et cetera, et cetera. They're written to work in conservative crowds. And then what I find is, when I go to like an all gay crowd, my brain is rewriting the jokes on stage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I'm like, oh, this is going to work differently here.
Yeah.
Because it's a different perspective.
Right.
And I'm not having to try to chip away at it. So there's that type of give and take, that it's the same joke, but in my brain while I'm on stage, I'm rewriting in the moment. Like, how does this work for you? Because like, I'll make up some words, or I'll have to explain something to a conservative crowd about the gay community. And then when you're doing that to the gay community, you're like, oh, I don't have to explain it to you. So I have to take that part out of the joke. And so it's a little different.
So are your audiences like mixed? Like, you've got just some totally straight, some totally gay, and then a mix of.
Yeah, well, it's
Okay.
it's adorable. You think I have like my audiences, like people are just streaming to see me, and that's adorable. That is the audiences that are there that I have to and get to deal with, lovingly get to deal with.
Okay.
Yeah, I changed it. We'll use the get to deal with. Travis, you get that? We'll go with the get to deal with. We'll fix it in post, everybody. Yeah, it's always interesting. The crowd's going to be what the crowd's going to be. Now that I'm headlining more and more, and thanks to Instagram and TikTok and social media, my audience is finding me.
Oh, great.
And my audience being a beige, boring gay. You guys get it, Paul.
Absolutely.
And so the more that lane has found me, which it's kind of been a real rewarding in its own thing, is
Yeah.
people relating to that kind of concept and what I'm putting out there, that more of that audience is coming out to shows specifically to see me.
That's
And that's
awesome.
been a really nice change in just performing to what you're given, to people coming out to see you. And that's been a slow change, but a real positive and fun.
And it's got to just change up the energy because they're there for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. And it's weird, though, because then they know my jokes.
Oh, okay.
So I did a show in Dallas, and I did a whole different 45 minutes than what's on my special.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, I went out and hung out with a bunch of the Bears that were at the show, which was nice, at this brewery. And one of the guys said to me, he goes, "You didn't do my favorite joke." And I was like, what favorite joke? Like, first of all, I just met you. Why do you have a favorite joke?
Oh my God, that's funny.
And then his favorite joke wasn't a joke from the special, wasn't a joke that I did that night. So of 90 minutes of material, his favorite joke was just something I posted 4 years ago on like Instagram. And I was like, that's your favorite joke?
Okay.
So that's also an interesting thing, is people having their favorites and being upset when you don't do their joke. And I was like, I didn't even know you knew that joke.
That's pretty cool, though.
It's neat. It's
It
been
is
fun.
cool. Yeah, it is cool. We experience that as well because, people will come up to us and say, "Oh, we love that episode," or "We love this other episode."
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we get that too. And then we get like the comments of, remember that one? We got the comment where the guy was like, "Fat girly men." Like we
got really excited because we got our first hate comment.
Yeah, we got our first.
And they
hate
called us
comment.
fat
They're the
girly
best.
men, and I was like, yes.
Yes.
It really was exciting. I think like
was
a
funny.
celebratory.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
funny.
I turn off
Yeah.
all comment protection on YouTube. I want the hate comments. I want it all.
Yeah.
I love it. So
Yeah.
I'm happy you guys got that. That's
yeah,
important.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of hate comments, I'm guessing at some point you had to deal with hecklers in the crowd.
Oh, sure.
How do you deal with them? Do you because I know some comics they'll start a conversation with them.
Yeah.
But I know that can really throw you off, I'm guessing, with your routine and what you want to say.
Well, yeah, again, adorable. You think I have a plan when I'm on stage. David, you're adorable. I should have better set preparation. I like going on stage and having an idea of where I'm going to go,
Sure.
and whatever goes kind of goes, much like this is happening.
Yeah.
There have been hecklers. It depends to me, it always depends on where I'm at in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And the type of heckle it is. So a show's broken down typically by a host, a feature, and then a headliner.
Okay.
So the host is starting off the show doing 10 to 15, features doing 20 to 30 minutes, headliners doing 45 to an hour.
Okay.
It's a basic comedy show breakdown. If I'm the host or the feature, if I'm the host, I'm going to tell people they need to keep quiet, please, unless you're, that's the host job, housekeeping. If I'm the feature, I tend to ignore heckles because to me, it's not my show. I'm just setting up the headliner.
I got you.
I'm there to be funny, do my time, set up the headliner. It's not
Yeah.
my show to derail, depending on what the heckle is.
Right.
As a headliner, you can deal with it more. You can dive into it more because it's your show type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that, it always depends. And it depends on the heckle. Like I've featured before at a show. And where are we at on language on this? Can we use some colorful language?
Yeah, if you want YouTube to shadow ban it.
Yeah, perfect. All right, great.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not being demonetized. You guys are. I'm fine with this.
Beep.
So so there was a show down in Cape Coral at a brewery, and there was a guy sitting about as far from Paul to me, and I wasn't even on the stage. I was standing just on the floor in front of people, and this guy. This is many years ago. Trump versus Hillary many years ago.
Oh boy.
And he had like a lock her up T-shirt on, and I was like, and he was like, kind of insurrection Santa. He had that kind of look to him. And
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, and I did a joke about being gay. It's my homophobic joke that I did in the special. My ex was making me homophobic, and everybody laughs because it's hilarious. And then he laughs. And then he looks at me, and again, we're not far away. And he just, as he finishes laughing and the room comes back down, he was like, "Oh, you're a real funny." And I was like, "Oh,
interesting.
Shit, now I need to address it because like this is very specific."
Yeah.
So the thing with hecklers they're looking for attention. And if you give them attention, they're probably going to heckle more. So that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can shut things down and move on. Sometimes you need to ignore, and then they're not getting the attention, they stop heckling. But in this scenario, I told him, I said, "Hey, listen," because it's weird. It's a hate crime, but also it was a compliment because he called me funny.
Yeah.
So
It was like a hate crime / compliment.
yeah, I was real conflicted.
Which is very hard to do.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, he thinks I'm funny."
Wow.
So I think, what did I tell him? I said, "Hey, look at you. You're wearing your Trump shirt, and I'm gay, and we can get along, right?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, and in a world that exists, that we both exist, we can get along together. And he goes, yeah. And I said, and I have a microphone and you don't. So maybe shut the fuck up and let me do my show.
Oh, nice.
And you sit and be quiet.
Yeah.
And then his wife applauded really loud at that. And then some lesbians at the show were like, yeah. And I was like, settle down. Because I still need to walk to my car after this. And so.
Oh, you don't have security with you?
Weird.
Okay.
Adorable. And so that was, and then he was quiet the rest of the show. And that kind of, shut him down. His wife came up to me after the show and appreciated me shutting him down. But that is a weird. When those have happened, I was headlining a show in St. Pete, and these people these bikers kind of talked through the whole show. And then at the end, like I had 5 minutes left in my set, and they talked through everybody's set. And I was just like, I had had enough. And I told them, like, shut up. Just like, shut up.
You were begging.
I said, I have 5 minutes left in my set. If you're not going to shut up, just leave. Just leave.
Right.
And they said, are you going to give us a refund? And I
Oh,
said,
my goodness.
I said, you have sat through 85 minutes of a 90-minute show.
Wow.
Nobody's
Okay.
refunding you. Get out or be quiet for the last 5 minutes. I have 2 jokes left for you guys. If you don't like me, that's fine, but leave.
Yeah.
The guy didn't like me talking to his wife that way. You're not blah, 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 blah. And he said, and again, another beautiful time, my dad was in the audience. And this big biker goes, I'm going to beat the gay out of you. And I said, that sounds dumb because the gay goes in you, not out of you. Now who sounds like an idiot? And
Wow.
so, and then they left. But there is also a difference that, I'm, I don't know, whatever, 6'3", 270 pounds. There's a certain amount of that I'm going to get away with on stage.
Right.
With a bit of confidence. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not as scared of somebody coming up on stage, but also I'm sure my dad was like, what is happening, Jeff? Shut up. So, but then there's just heckles I just ignore. And then they're like, oh, I'm not getting attention. And
Well,
okay.
I'm sure you've got, like you mentioned, you've got the hecklers that are drunk
mm-hmm.
and, they don't even know what they're doing. And then you've got, the people that have maybe more ill intention, especially in Florida. I'm sure, you have your fill of, folks that are not exactly ecstatic to see you on stage.
And it's a weird thing after the show, because I'm not that, I wouldn't call myself a hero. I keep going to my camera.
I love it.
And, but I'm being me on stage. And it's weird because the difference that I get after shows, I'll get people coming up to me, telling me that they have a gay person in their life, whatever that is. And whisper it to me. They'll come up after show and be like, I have a gay daughter. And I'm like, okay, like you can say it out loud. So I get that more often than not, which is interesting.
Yeah,
I
that is interesting.
People thanking me for being myself on stage.
Oh, that's great.
Which is sweet.
Yeah.
And then I get weird things like down in Sarasota, I did a show. And after the show, I had a 70-year-old woman come up to me. She came right up to me and she goes, hey, funny stuff on stage. Be careful out there. And I was like, I don't like how you said that. Like it felt threatening.
Yeah.
The way she said it, like it was
Wow.
kind of nice. Be careful out there.
Yeah.
But when she leaned, she was like, be careful out. And I was like, who? Are you going to beat me up? I think it felt very ominous.
Yeah.
So I do get some ominous things after shows as well. People come up and some guy also happened in Sarasota. That's weird.
Oh,
Maybe there's a
strange.
trend in Sarasota where people have said, I had a guy say, I just don't understand why the gays need to push their agenda on me.
Oh, geez.
And I said, okay, what part of my set did that happen in? And he goes, well, you didn't do it. And I was like, cool. So so I just need to answer for the whole community now? Where are we at?
Yeah. Wow.
Give me specifics. And I was trying to sell merch afterwards. And I was like, are you going to buy a t-shirt or where are we at? And so it's weird. You never know what's going to happen. But
Have you ever walked to your car and kind of looked over your shoulder at some point?
oh, 100%. I did. Yeah, I forget I left one show. And back when I had a different car. And after the show, some guy was like, hey, you had a nice Subaru when you drove in. And I was like, I don't like that you know that. I don't like that you know the type of car I had.
Yeah.
I don't, there was it didn't feel any ill intention, but I was just
Right.
like, I don't I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
So there's, you're sometimes concerned depending on the places. Those are all different places I've played over the years. I've played a real redneck biker bar, Confederate flag behind me type thing.
Oh, wow.
People left during my set.
Okay.
Which I was like, I'm going to talk about being gay in here. Like,
Wow.
what are you
Good
guys
for
going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I could have had a near-death experience. I could have joined your guys' conversation.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, I didn't. They all just liked me. But the owner, this older lady that owned the bar, she shook my hand afterwards. She loved me. But there was at least 6 patrons that were like, no, thank you, got up and left. And so, you never, it feels like a bit of accidental activism, I'll say. Because to me, I'm not doing it to be an activist.
Right.
I'm going to talk about my life on stage. My life includes me being gay. And so this is how I'm going to talk about it. And if that bothers people, it's going to bother people. And if it doesn't,
Right.
it doesn't. But it feels at times I'm doing more activism than I'm setting out to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you're doing a dual role, really.
Yeah.
By accident.
By accident.
One of the things that I like to watch when you post reels is your Queer with a Beer series. I think that's really, fun and good content. And
Thank you.
definitely want to collaborate with you on one of the episodes. But I feel like, now that the show has been established, I feel like we're at a point where we could do some customized merch, not just with our name, but, with different sayings that we're used to doing on the show. Like,
I can see that, yeah.
You wear many hats for one,
Yeah.
or, embrace the muffin top.
Right.
So
yeah, I've heard the muffin top thing before.
So I feel like you and I could collaborate on, embrace the muffin top, because we both obviously have muffin tops.
Yeah, well, I mean, the audience can't see that, but that seems rude that you would bring that up. All right.
Paul has exposed the truth.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
David calls it the muffin top because he loves the.
Muffin
Oh yeah,
muffin
right.
top.
The Facebook, the fatty gay.
But thank you for that. No, and not to correct you because it's your show, and I would never correct you because you're pretty and right all the time. But it is it's beer with a queer, not queer with a beer. But
beer with a queer. Yes.
It works the same way. They still rhyme. I don't care. But it's weird. That was been fun because I just 163 episodes or something like that
Oh
right
my
now.
goodness, that's amazing.
And and I just started doing that just to be doing something, just to get onto the algorithm. You just need to be doing something consistently. So I started doing that 4 years ago. Just recently looked it up. And 2021, so 4 years ago. And the wild thing about that is it's just something I was doing. Just, again, to have a consistent something. What's wild to me is the connection people have made to that. Some fun examples are when I first did a show in Dallas, I did this little showcase at a queer showcase in Dallas. And one of the other comics on the show came up to me before the show and he was like, "Oh my God, you're Beer with the Queer." And I was like, "I'm Jeff."
Oh, got it.
They were like, "No, you're Beer with the Queer." And I was like, "You're also on the show with me. We're both just comics." And he was like, "No, I watch your series. I keep track of all the beers that you like, which there's not a lot that I like on there. I write them down." And I was just like, and my question was, why? Why are you watching it? I don't understand why. You don't owe me money. I don't know you, but he found it. And then it's been weird because there's a hilarious comic and actor out of LA whose name is Chris Grace, who I've done an episode with. He was on Superstore.
Fun.
And he reached out to me and he was like, "I want to be on an episode of Beer with the Queer." And I was
that's
like,
cool.
"Okay." So one of the times I was in LA, we got together, which was great. And then I was just, of all places, this is fun. I was just in San Francisco, and Matt and I were there during Door Alley. If you guys know what Door Alley is.
I feel like I should, but I
You
don't.
Perverts. No, you don't. All right, good for you. Way to play it to the cameras that you don't. So Door Alley is like the Folsom Street Fair, but like condensed. So it is 3 blocks on Folsom. That happens during the summer. And it is any and everything happening.
Got you.
Like, what's adorable, they have a play tent in the street festival that they have. And I don't know what's happening in the tent because all of it was happening out on the street. Like all of it was happening out on the
Yeah,
street.
they need to put it over the street.
Yeah, it was just like from full naked to anything you can imagine happening, we saw. And we saw dressed as furries doing it. Like it was any and everything. It's very much the leather, and they call cultural community there. And it was packed. It was great. But they had vendors. So we're hitting the vendors, and there was this really kind of, and people are laughing at this, there was a cute like T-shirt vendor and hat vendor. And so we got some T-shirts and hats from them. People were like, there were cute vendors? I was like, yeah, it was an adorable T-shirt place. And so I tagged them because in the last Beer with the Queer I posted, I had one of their hats on. And I tagged them in it. And they reached out to me, and they were like, we absolutely know Beer with the Queer. We didn't know that was you when you were buying. And I was like, yeah, would I have gotten a discount? But it's been an interesting, like, these people based out of LA that were in San Francisco have heard of it. And so to me, it's been an interesting how far it's gotten. When we were in Sydney, Australia, my friend Chris Knight out there that hooked me up with some shows, and I did like 3 shows, and I did my Wigs and Wits show out there. That was based on him knowing Beer with the Queer and us communicating through that.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so it's really been weird globally how it's people have gotten to it.
And I'm glad you mentioned Wigs and Wit. Can you tell folks like what that is?
I would love to.
Yes.
I accidentally mentioned it. No, so Wigs and Wit is it's a show that I came up with maybe 8 years ago now. It is 3 drag queens, 3 drag performers, because we're finally having our first drag king on it this next coming show, and 3 comics, and I host it. And each comic performs a stand-up set, each drag performer performs, but after each performance, the opposite kind of team critiques them. So the comics are going to critique the drag performers critique the comics.
Oh my gosh, that is so great.
At the end, I have a high-scoring drag performer, a high-scoring comic, and I have them switch. So the comic lip syncs, the drag performer does 5 minutes of stand-up.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
The audience chooses a winner.
Oh, nice.
It's fun for the whole family.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I've been doing it for about 8 years now. I've brought it to LA, Sydney, Houston. It went over great. New Orleans, I've done it. So I've gotten to take it on the road, which has been great. And then I get to meet local performers and do all of that. But it's I try to do it quarterly here in the Tampa Bay area. So
yeah, and so when's your next event? Is it in Chicago?
No, well, the next Wigs and Wits is going to be August 24th in Tampa. Which I have a feeling this is going to come out after the 24th, so that helps me none. You guys are doing nothing for me. But they'll just follow me online, everybody, and you'll see the next one coming up. And you guys are invited if you would like to come out August 24th. I will reserve tickets for you.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah,
so you guys can come out
for
to
sure.
it.
That'd be fun. Yeah,
it's a really fun show, and it's just about, I like it because it's just about positivity. I want the drag performers being the best they can be, I want comics being the best they can be, and just getting to know and see each other and kind of recognize the work that goes into each other's craft.
It is such a unique concept. I am really excited to go.
Yeah,
it sounds really fun.
Thank you. I think it's one of the more fun shows I do.
Yeah,
and I am working out how to bring it to like a televised series type thing, whether that's YouTube or whatever.
Okay.
But the fun with that is if I can set that up right, and that's what I'm working on now, studio space and so on.
Right.
It's going to have to be all royalty-free songs. So seeing drag performers perform to royalty-free songs may be the most fun on a series.
Yeah,
ever.
that'll be interesting.
It'll be good.
Really,
it'll be a twist to it.
Well, you can do Happy Birthday. That's royalty-free.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of happy birthdays.
Oh my goodness, that's great. So for folks that want to like catch up with you on social media, where can they find you?
So I'm That Jeff is Funny, all one word. That if they have to say it, it has to be true. That Jeff is Funny on every social media platform.
Okay.
You can find me on, and then thatjeffisfunny.com is the website in which you can get to my special from that. All my shows are listed on that. I try to keep everything through like 30 days up on there. I don't want to overwhelm people because I'm blessed and booked. What can I say?
No, I hear you. You have
busy.
a lot of I checked out your website. You have a lot of events coming up.
It's a lot. Yeah, I am headed to Chicago next weekend for a festival there, and then I'm back in town with a lot of local shows. And then September, I'm back on the road. I'm getting to headline the Rehoboth Bears event in September, which is like 300 to 400 bears get together in Rehoboth Beach in Delaware.
Wow.
So they're flying me up to headline that event. So that'll be a good
wow.
time.
There's a lot of jokes there that I won't say right now.
It's
Okay, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'll say them on stage there. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. That'll be great. And then if someone's searching on Amazon for your special, they just put in the Fatty Gay.
Put in Fatty Gay.
Okay, awesome.
Not
That's
the
great.
Fatty Gay.
He really
did I say
wants
the
to be-
again?
Yes, you did.
In my mind, it's going to be always the.
Well, what I love
Fatty
is
gay.
in your mind, I'm the only fatty gay. And that's what I appreciate. That I'm singular in your mind, and that's nice.
Yes, for sure. Oh my goodness, that's great. Paul, any other questions for Jeff before we wrap up?
No, I think we're ready to wrap.
All right.
If you'd like to be a guest on the Skittle Squad podcast or like to be an advertiser, you can reach us at contact@theskittlesquad.com.
Jeff, thanks very much for coming on today. Yes.
I brought you guys gifts. 1 second.
Oh, gifts. Okay.
Yeah, because Brian Longstreth gave you gifts, and I will not be outdone by Brian
Oh,
Longstreth.
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm competitive, but I'm going to say I'm better than Brian.
Okay, well.
So you each have a set of coasters. And these are all jokes from my special.
Okay.
And there's
nice.
a little QR code on the back that you can scan and go
nice.
right to the jokes.
Okay.
So
Here
this
you
is my
go.
new kind of merch that I do. But each of you have a set of
Awesome.
coasters now.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Oh my
You are
goodness, this
welcome.
is
Love
great.
it.
Yeah.
And I noticed that as I'm looking through these, none of them say the Fatty Gay.
No, they are the coasters though. So
But yeah, the coasters. Well, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
thank you guys for
Yeah.
having me on. I appreciate it.
So to follow us, we really appreciate you following us on our socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Please subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.